Welcome to the dynamic learning hub of XLR at Andheri East. A prime spot conveniently located at just a 5-minute walk from LIC Andheri Metro. In our journey of over a decade, we have proudly trained over 2 lakh students. We have also been recognized by Deloitte, Silicon India, and other accreditation bodies. Experience learning like never before in our spacious and comfortable classrooms. With high-definition projectors and state-of-the-art acoustics in place, we ensure effective learning even to the farthest point in the room. The hybrid mode is a game changer as you can enjoy the benefits of a light classroom from the comfort of your home. Even if you happen to miss any classroom session, you can still attend the same session with the same trainer at the same time at your convenience, maintaining consistency in your learning progress. Want to get started? Join us for a demo or career chat over a cup of coffee at our Andheri branch. XLR. We don't just train, we build careers.
Yes, so the collaboration with XLR was an excellent one. We conducted a Power BI workshop with Advanced Excel over a span of 3 days. The workshop was almost 12 hours long in total. Mr. Karthik, who was an amazing trainer, helped the students understand the concepts deeply. I am sure that the students will be able to apply these concepts in their careers as well as their daily lives.
The trainer, Mr. Karthik, was an excellent person where he explained in very detailed manner on how to give great insights using very complex data sets.
It was a machine learning workshop. We learned a lot from the course and it was a great experience attending the workshop.
The trainer was very helpful. He had a hands-on approach with his teaching and it was fabulous.
This was a great experience for me, so I would absolutely love it if XLR and its team would come again to our campus and conduct more events like this.
It was a great course and it started from basics and took me to a great extent.
The experience of the workshop was really nice. The feedback from all the students was positive. They understood the concept. The workshop was also practical based with some questions. The experience with XLR was very smooth. They helped us in conducting the workshop smoothly right from the booking of the vendor and deciding the course till the distribution of certificates. In overall, this workshop was a success during our Technical Fest Atmos, and I thank XLR for being a part of it.
I was very much interested in learning digital marketing course for a very long period of time, but I don't get a proper platform. So later for my college, I get to know about XLR and I enrolled in XLR course. It was really good experience. Our course has been taken by Mayur sir, and he was very good teacher. He not only focusing on theory part, he is doing how real digital marketing works, and it was experience. Get so much of knowledge here. They're not only focusing on study, they're also conducting different exam to test our knowledge, and as we are giving the exam, so to appreciate our work, they give certificates for the toppers, and along with the certificate they give hampers. Thank you, XLR.
Recently, I was searching for digital marketing courses online in Google, and I came across XLR, and I attended a digital marketing course which was for 15 days. My mentor Mayur helped me for attending these classes. So he is a very informative and helpful guy. In the course end, there is a exam which I topped. So I came to the XLR office in Bengaluru. This digital marketing course has helped my career and my skills to develop, and the certificate has helped my company to join. Thank you, XLR.
I came to know about this course from my college. Actually, for learning platform, this is very nice, and I learned from here ChatGPT and AI from online. Vikas is teaching for me for AI generative and ChatGPT. We are using technology in more. And after finishing the courses, I came for collecting the certificate. I seen the classrooms and faculties. Classroom is very nice. After the completion of exam, they will give gift and certificates. Thank you, XLR, for giving these courses. I learned a lot from this. I gained the more knowledge from here. And thank you for XLR for teaching us.
Hello guys, I'm Vikram Mahajan and I'm studying in Swami Vivekananda Institute of Technology College, and I came across a training program which was mobile app development using Flutter, which was given to us by XLR Solutions. I came across this program through my college faculty, who told us about this program, that it is a very good course and you should enroll in this course. So I enrolled in this course, and initially I felt really good about this course because they started everything from a very basic point of view, that even if someone who doesn't know anything about Flutter or anything about mobile app development can also learn, the same way the ones who know about it are learning. So no student was left behind and everyone was given equal attention. All the doubts throughout the course were cleared. And if we had any questions also, we were like, the trainer was also ready to stay for a longer time than it was scheduled, even for the sake of doubts. So that shows how important the students are to them. So it was a really good experience with XLR's program, and by the end of the training program, I was able to develop my own application. And through the development also, there was another point. Yeah, so
Good evening, all. I hope you all doing well. Good
Yes,
evening,
ma'am, you're
Aditya,
audible.
sir.
Good evening,
Thank you,
ma'am.
sir. Yeah, you can start the session, sir.
Okay, ma'am. Very good evening to all of you. Am I audible to all of you right now? Can I get a confirmation? Okay, thank you very much. So, guys, in the last class, first let's talk about what we learned till this time and what we are going to do next. So, we basically cover the basics part of Salesforce development, which is we learn the basic programming concepts, we learn the classes and the object creation, we learn how to create different type of functions. We also know the concepts of object oriented programming, and we also do the testing part, like how we are going to find the bugs. So after doing all of these things, let's come to the next part, which is data, or we are going to talk about the database or the database in SOQL. So right now you see, if I come on the developer console here, let me just open. Whatever data we are creating till this time is actually not a persistent data. It is unpersistent data, and means that this data was not actually stored in Salesforce, or you can say in Salesforce database. It was stored in the Salesforce heap. And as suddenly you close this heap, all of the data was actually deleted. I think you already focused this thing that whenever you close your Salesforce org, and the next time when you open, all of your data was actually deleted. Let me show you how this thing actually happens. So if I come on the debugger section, and here you see, if this is a simple thing, let's just remove this. So here I'm just going to create a simple, or you can say a very simple stack, or you can say a basic collection which was going to store some data. And after a few times you see all of data was actually removed from there, because none of data was actually stored there. So how we are going to store all of the data? So here I'm going to just create a basic map data. Let me just write here, and this map was actually going to store some information. And once I just close all of these things, actually everything was just disappear. So let me just first create it. So if you see, I writing here a simple code, a map data, a map integer string, which is going to store this information. It has two values: an integer is a value, a key, and a string is a value. And here we are adding some new students in this particular thing. Like first, this is an empty map, and then I'm storing some values here, and then I'm printing. Now, if I just simply execute this thing, I'll see a log on the here in the log section. So this code was executed. And if I go again on the debugger section here, you see these data was actually present here. But once if I just remove this code here from this time period, for example, these things, these codes or the data, and then again if I click on execute this time, this data was actually removed from here, and it simply means that these data was not persistent, and it was actually not stored in the Salesforce OR. So how we are going to store these data? And this is the main concern here. Now if I show you the debugger console here this time, you see we are not actually storing. So actually this is not very helpful. We need to store our data in a database. So today we are going to learn about Salesforce Object Query Language, which is SOQL, and we are going to learn how we are able to store real data in our Salesforce database, and we are able to save those data and fetch at the time when we want. So today we are going to learn about SOQL, which is Salesforce Object Query Language. Salesforce Object Query Language. It is same as SOQL language, which is Structured Object Query Language. So SOQL is same as SQL, which is Structured Query Language, but SOQL stands for Salesforce Object Query Language. So what is actually Salesforce Object Query Language? So if I show you this stream, here you can see right now we are in a particular thing. Let me just come here on a different types of application. So like if I come on a here service section, you can open anything. I'm just right now opening service. So right now if I open my service section, here you can see we have different types of section. Now if I come on accounts here, and if I try to create a new account, suppose here I'm going to create an account, click on this new section, and now I'm going to create a new account. So suppose I'm just going to account name, which will be suppose test account. And if I just try to save this account, let's see what happens. So if I click on save, this particular account was saved here. And now if I just refresh my page even again, here if I come on accounts, and here if I click on this section, and if I see here, I'll just created my test account. Now if I click on this, I'm able to see my this account here. Means now if you have a persistent data, at that time these data was actually stored in your Salesforce org. And if I refresh this page, this data is not actually going to remove from here, it was always going to save here. So if I again open this account tab here, here you can see we have this data test account which was just stored inside our Salesforce object query language. And today we are going to learn the same thing, that how we are able to store different types of data inside this. Now these are actually main database of our Salesforce object. So let me just share my entire screen, then I'm going to explain what I'm trying to tell you. Give me a moment. Okay, right now my screen is visible to all of you. Now if you see this right now, here we are on this page. Now if you click on this icon and you click on this setup, we are open to a new tab here, and see database in Salesforce object is not known as database, they are known as objects instead of Salesforce. So if you open your particular Salesforce, you will see a object manager type here. When you click on this object manager, you will open the object manager directly. And if you don't see this object manager, what you need to do, you need to again come on home, and here you need to search for object manager. If you don't see this, when you search for object manager, you will see here a object and field section, and here you will find object manager. If you don't find this icon here, you can search for obj, and here you will find this object manager. Now when you open this object manager, you will see there are different types of labels and fields we are going to see, and this is actually our database. So object manager is like a table inside a database. Like in real time we have different tables, like we have student tables, like we have college tables, like we have marketing tables in a real database SQL. Same in Salesforce, we have object as same as tables, and inside this object manager, here you can see we have different tables here. Like here we have account table, we have activity table, we have address table. So if I open this account table here, you can see this account table is actually having all the fields and relations. So if you see this section, click on fields and relations, you are able to see all the fields available in this account. So here you can see in this account field, we actually have account name, we have account number, we have account owner, account site, and different things we have right now here. Now how actually a Salesforce query is going to work? So first let's come on here. I think now you understand what is the object and what is field inside this. So here you can say there are different fields, and these are the name of these fields, or you can say the API name. Now here I think you understand what is actually an object. So object is basically a table, and inside this objects we have different you can say tables. Like you have account table, you have other things. And when you open a table like account object, you will see the field and relations, or you in this particular section, like there are different types of fields all in this account, the account name, account number, account owner, and different other things. Now if I come again my developer section, now the question is here how we are going to run our SOQL query. So if I click on this file section and click on this open resource here, here you can see you will open a tab like this, and here what you need to search for account object. So if I search here for account, here you can see you have different things. Here you have account object. Now when you click on account object and click on open, you are able to open the account object which we just created. Now in here you can see we have different things, like in this account object, and here you can see what is the type of this. Suppose I want to check ID, so I need to press shift and then I need to choose multiple. So if you want to choose multiple, you need to press shift. Like I want to know the ID name. Okay, no, I don't want deleted. So I want to name, then I want to know shift this particular ID section. ID is deleted. Okay, I don't want that. Let me just name, control ID. So I need to know ID and name, and also I want to know, like, suppose phone number information. So again control and press this. So when you press control, and then you are able to click multiple files. After this, here you can see there's a small button. If you click on this, you will get a query for this. And this is the query which we are going to run. Select name, ID, phone from account. Now, if you click on this execute section on the down at the last, if you click on this execute section on the last, what you are going to see, here you are able to see all the names, IDs and phone from the accounts. Now these are all the information. And if you see, this is a test account which we just created. And here we have this ID. And right now this account does not have any phone number. So this is how we are able to get our all information. Now let's talk about this query first and see how this query actually looks. So if you see in this query, what we are actually writing, first we have a select. So the first statement of a SQL query is your particular select statement, which is going to select the information which you want to fetch from the database. So remember, the first statement is always going to be your select statement. After the select statement, the second thing is the fields which you want to fetch from the database. Now, this is a really crucial thing, like what you are going to fetch. So if I come again on the account tab, here you can see you have two options, field label and field name. So in every account, when you click on the field and relationships, like right now I'm accounts, you will find here two things, fields and field label and field name. So here you can see field label is actually account name, but field name is name. And we are fetching our data through this name. So you need to remember every time, whenever you want to fetch a data from the SQL objects, you need to write the field name or the API name. You are not going to write the field label, because if you write the field label, you are not going to fetch the data. It will say that this particular field relation is not available or field not available. Like we have different things, like account name is a field label, but the name is field name is name or API name. Same, if you see this active, here you can find that active underscore C, and this is the field name. Now, whenever you see a underscore double underscore C, you need to understand that this is a custom object, and you are also able to create a custom object. Like if you create on this new, you are able to create a new custom object on side this. Like this, what type of data it was going to store, and according to this, like for example, if I want that this is going to store like a checkbox type of or a lookup relation. Suppose this is going to be a number type of data. So number, then here you need to click on next, and you need to specify what type of information this is going to name. So here you need to name the field label. Remember, field label is not actually that useful. It was just going to specify the label of the field. After this, you need to specify the length, then field label name. Suppose this was a number, so I'm just going to give ID by me. So this is the field name, ID by me, and here I need to name the name. So name will be also sometimes the same, ID by me. After, you need to describe the description. What will be the description? So see, the description is not very important, and I just give a description. This ID was given by me. This ID was given by me. Was given. So you can hear, yeah, and here you have a help text you can record. Now here you have some information checkbox which you need to, like here required, always required a value in this field order to save a required. So it is required. Okay, I required this. So if you click on this field should never be leave. So you need to click, then you are able to see this. Do not allow duplicate value. When you click on this, it will become unique. External ID sets this field as a unique record identity from external system. You can do this. All predictions use this field store. All prediction scores like this. Auto add to custom report type. So it was by default click because we are creating a custom field right now. Like here you can say so formula default, and we are not going to choose this. So you need to choose these things, and when you click on here next, then you go to the next thing, and here you will see the information of this thing. Establishing field level security. Like here you are specifying the security level. So right now here you can see visible, and when you click on this read only section, you are able to, like what is the security level, security for profile, cloud integration user, cloud security users. So you need to select what type of information you are wanting from this particular thing, and if you want that particular read only section, you need to click in here. Right now you see it was visible. If you want, you need to click on this section, then it was going to done. After this, you just simply need to click on next, and when you click on next, you'll see a one more option like here, and this is add to page layout, like where it was going to add. So account marketing, like here you can see this same field was going to layout from different, like account in marketing, account in sales, account in support, like these layers it was going to appear. If you don't want, you can just recheck this field, and you are able to remove from here, because right now I'm not going to remove from here. I'm just going to click save and new. When I click on save and new, this particular object was created. Now, if I just go back again on the fields and relations section, now I'm able to set this ID by me object. So if I just go scroll a little bit down, I will see this thing. See, here you see we just created our ID by name, and here its title, or you can say the field name or API name, which is ID by me underscore C. And this is a custom object. That's why we are getting double underscore C. And what it was going to store? It was going to store numbers. Now this field was also created. Now this is how you are able to create one more field. And you need to remember always that whenever you want to fetch that data, you need to fetch this with the name section. So now I'm coming on the again on the this section, and I'm going to create a new ID again. So new, and this time I'm going to give a name, account name, which will be test account Aditya, and here I'm just going to give account test account 25635. And if I just go here right now, we will find that ID by me in here somewhere. So let's see description info, active number, custom property, active sales SLA number, shipping billing city. Here we get SSI code, employee type, ownership, account site, account number, website, parent control, phone, and it. Actually, I think we are not able to see this thing. Let me just check again. So where is ID by me? Okay, this is thing. So if I click again on here, sometime what happened, this particular thing was not able to see in a particular section. So here you are able to see why this was not showing in your particular this section or account section ID by me. Like here you can see you have not seen this section, active number of location, custom priority, SLA serial number, like this section. So how we are going to able to show this thing inside this account? For this again I need to come on Salesforce, and here this ID was given my B. If I just scroll a little bit down, here required unique, okay, number options, additional value, and here we don't have any other option. So if you want to this thing set field level security again, because this is actually available, and view field accessibility. So first you need to see the set field level as security. So when you click on the set field level security this time, here you can see this is visible and read only. So you need to specify these things, then it was going to appear, otherwise not. So what you need to do, you need to click on this section, and then you need to click off visible to here. So it was then going to appear that side. Otherwise it was not going to appear on the screen. Now I think everyone is clear with how you are going to do these things. Now let's come again on our developer section. So I think first you need to write the select keyword, which was going to select the piece of information which you want to fetch. After this, the second thing you need to specify the API name, or you can say the field name of the particular field. Remember, you need to write the field name, not the field label. After the field label, if you have multiple field, it was going to separate it by a multiple commas. Like if you have one more field, then it was going to separate by one more comma. And it is going till you have fields. Like if you want to fetch 3 fields, you need to separate everything by comma. After this, whenever your field was ended, like here I have name, ID, and phone. After this, you are going to use this from keyword. Means after the last field, you are not going to specify here the particular comma. After this, you need to write here from keyword, which was going to take this information from the particular object where you want to get it. Like here you can see you have different types of objects in object manager. Like if you click again on the object manager, you have different things, like you have account activity and everything. So from which piece of object you want to access this information, you need to specify, and this time you need to specify the object name here. Like here I am specifying all of this information from account. So remember what you need to write, you need to write here the API name this time. You didn't need to write this particular label, because if you write the label you are not able to get this thing. So what you need to write, you need to write this API name. So here you see you have different API name, and some API name is different. Like you have agent work, and the agent work is not separated by space. So you need to write the API name of the field or object. So here the API name is account. So after writing this phase from the API name of object, API name of object, name of object, you can run your query and you are able to get all your data. So this is a basic way, or a basic simple, you can say a statement which is going to run when you want to fetch some data from the database, and it was just going to give you simple data. Let me just share all this code to you in the chat box. So this will be a simple, you can say Can you do? Chetan Gupta, what should I repeat? Can you please tell me? Okay. So now if I come again on the developer section, this is what you need to write. Now let's close this. Now if we click on execute this time, you will able to see we are going to get all of this information at this place here. And this is how a simple SQL statement works. You can use any type of information or you can do anything. Like here you can see you have also some information like query grid, save rows, insert row, delete row, refresh grid. So you have also these information which we are also going to use further, but first we are going to know how we are going to do this by writing our query. So let's try to write our first query inside this. So right now I'm going to write my first query here to get some data from the database. Like I want to get a data of, like you can say, name, company, email, status from an object. Let's suppose how many objects we have right now. So if I just close this section, I'm just leaving this page. So here let's go and see some objects, like let's see any object which I find. So here you can see I have an object lead, and now let's, if I open this object, let's see what information inside this lead object we have. So now if I click on the field and relationship, here we have different things. Like this lead has address, this lead has also emails, and this lead also has industry. So right now, or mobile or name. So right now what I'm going to do, I'm going to fetch data, the mobile, the name, and the lead status from this lead. So what I need to do, here I need to write the query. So first query will be select. Now what it was going to select, here is the main thing. So it was going to select first the lead status, like this status, Control C, copy this section. Coming on the developer section, here I need to press select. It was going to select the lead status, then separated by a comma. The second thing it was going to search for mobile number. So Control C again. Coming on the developer console again here, and here we are pasting the mobile number. After this, again going to put a comma. After this, what is the next thing it was going to fetch? It was going to fetch this name. So copy this again, Control C, coming here on the developer section and paste it. After this, we need to use the from keyword from where we are actually specifying this. So from, I'm specifying all of this data, or you can say, let me just write in capital letter. So remember, either you write all of your things in the select keyword or another thing in capital letter or in small letter. So the best way is to write the select and the main keywords in like capital letter and the field name and the relations in small letter or semi capital. Like the first is capital and other is small. From where we are taking this information. So we are taking this from lead. So if I just scroll a little bit down or go back, I need to check the API name of this lead. So here you can see in details we are able to API name which is lead also. So here I need to specify I'm spacing getting this information from lead. So here I'm writing lead, and now if I click on this execute, let's see what we are going to get. So our query was executed again successfully, and here we are going to get all the information. Like here you can see we get the status first, then we get the mobile number and name. But here you see this order is not like which I want. So how you are going to change the order like in a particular order? So this was going to change according to this. For example, if you want the name field first, what you need to do? You need to copy this name section and you need to put this in front of the status. So if I copy this line from name here and just print this section here after a comma and just remove this line. Okay. So now if I try to run this time, this was going to show me all the things in a different order, and I need to remove this name from here also. So now this time what it was going to give me, it was going to give me select name, status and mobile number. So now if I click on execute this time, the order was actually changed. We get first name, then we get the status and mobile number. And this is how you are going to get as much data which you want. So this is our first query which we just run here to check how we are going to get the database. How we are going to fetch data from the database. Does anyone have any doubt regarding this? Does anyone have any doubts regarding this? If anyone have any doubt regarding this, you can ask. Otherwise, I'm going to the next queries. Okay. So right now I'm moving to the next queries and see how the next query is going to work properly. So this is the first query we see. Now we have different other works in queries, like there are some type of exceptions, or sometimes you want to get data but only some specific data. Like what happened if you want to get a condition, if you want to put a condition. So suppose In SOQL, we have some statements like we have a statement where. So we use this statement very much because the where statement is one of the most used statement in SOQL statements, or you can say in SOQL query. So right now here I'm just going to write a simple SOQL where statement. Now suppose here we have Aditya Dubey and status open. But suppose what I want this time, I want to use some specific condition, like I want to put a condition and to get only limited data. So what I'm going to do this. So see, this time here you can see on the status section we have different information. Like some is open, not contacted, and if you just go everywhere, everyone is open and not contacted right now. Here you can see the status. Now what I'm going to do here, I'm just going to give a little bit more information and try to get some information. But first I'm just going to put some data inside this section. So here we are only getting open, not contacted. Now, first of all, I've just come on this section, share this tab. And right now you see, right now I'm inside this lead tab again. But this time what I'm going to do, I'm open this setup section. And from here, I'm just going to open a lead. So let me open leads first. So let's service marketing, view all, click on the view all. Let me just, and here you see we have different things. And now where this was actually available. So here you can see when you just go a little bit down here you will be able to see everything. So right now I want lead, so I'm just going to put some data inside this lead tab, or you can say this lead database, and then try to get using the where. So just now I'm going to create some new leads, so click on new, and here we will open this section. So right now I'm just going to switch, here is the situation which will be Mr., which is compulsory because it is first name. Let's give Aditya Dubey. Okay, this will be I'm going to give here. Let's remove this number section from here. Okay, so Aditya Dubey, here I need to give the company, which is also important. So let me just give the company name here, like XLR. After this, here is the title, which is, and here comes the lead source. Now this lead source is something like, suppose we want to get. So like here, if I give the lead source phone inquiry or anything. After this, if you see this lead status. So if you see this developer console and I share this tab, here you see right now we have all the lead status open, not contacted. So I'm going to just change some lead status. So this lead status is working contacted. Now this is the lead status, and here I think does not we have any other important information, and I am going to click on save and new because I want to create. So he hit a review this error on this page. This industry field cannot be blank. So actually industry field should not be blank. Where is the industry field? Okay, so it should not be blank. So agriculture will be good, and just click on save and new. Now this lead was created. Now I'm going to create. Okay, so here we actually hit triggers. Okay guys, actually this is no why this was happening. Let me just open a new account. Actually this is, let me just log out here from. Okay, I need to log in with a different account actually. Okay, let me just try to log on this page. Wait a second guys, just need to log into a different Salesforce. Okay, let me just share this tab actually. Okay, wait a second, I'm just need to share something else. Okay, this is fine. Now I think right now I am on a different Salesforce org because that was has some triggers function. Actually, I write some triggers for that lead. That's why we are getting that error. We are going to study triggers when we see how these things actually happening. So right now I'm in here and I'm just going to open the sections again from here. So let me open this developer console here. Open link in new tab. And now right now I'm on developer section here again. So now this time what I'm going to do, I'm just going to open the developer section and I'm going to write some queries again here from the leads, and I'm going to use the where clause here. So if I open this again here, it was loading. Okay, so it was actually everything was deleted. Okay, so okay, everything was deleted. So now right now I need to write here a query. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to click on file, new, open resources, and now where from I'm just checking this, I'm checking this from leads. So I need to write here leads. So here I will get the lead object. I just click here and click on open. Now you see I've just opened this particular thing, lead object. Now you have two options. Either you open the lead object or you just don't need to open object. If you click on this cancel, you'll directly see this query editor, and here we need to write our query. So this time we are actually writing the query from the lead object and we are getting some data. So the last query which we write is select. Let me write it correct. So you can write like this: select name. Then we have, I think, mobile number. Let me just check it again. So in leads, what we have, let me just open the setups here. Okay, let me come on the object managers here, and I'm searching for leads. So scroll a little bit down, and here is the leads object, and I'm trying to access some information like come on the field and relationships, and here I'm just trying to access this piece of information, which is this phone. Okay, phone. Let me just copy this thing. So name, I'm also getting phone. Select name, then phone, and let's get some more data like this SSI go. Like here I'm getting this name, status also. Status. Let's put this status also, comma. And now from, I need to specify from where I'm just getting this. Get this thing actually. From, we are getting all this data from lead. So from lead. And now after this running this query, actually I'm going to add a simple, and here we get name, open, and here we get different types of working status. Now this is good. Now in this time what I'm going to do, I'm going to write a where clause which was going to filter this data according to me, like filter the data on the basis of status. Like here we have different status. So let's try to execute this thing and see how this works. So by using a where clause is very easy. So first, how you're going to use the where clause. So see, first the select name phone status from lead. This piece is going to same. You are not going to change this information. Where clause is always going to start from after the lead. So here we need to specify the clause name. Now where, like here we need to write where. Now what is where? First we need to know. So where is a conditional clause, or you can say a operator in particular sales, which is going to give a condition which allow us to apply a condition in the Salesforce object query language to modify the data or to get accurate data. Like you can give a condition. So it was like a condition part, like a if else in programming, where is also same as in SOQL, which give a condition and modify, or you can say short the data according to our need. So right now here I want that we get status only like working. So I want status to be only working. So what I did right now here, where status equal to, and here I need to give a string value. So here this string value is going to check. So where status is going to be working contract. So I need to write this piece of information. So what I'm just going to copy this line actually. So I'm just going to copy this line where status is working contract. So now I'm just going to put this piece of information inside this single quotes. Now where status is working contacted, you need to give this string, and this is going to match all this information, and it was going to give you this piece of information. Now if I try to run this key, let's see what I'm going to get. So now if I just click on execute this time, here you can see we are successfully executed our code, but this time we are only getting those information which has a status working contacted. And this is very good. Like by using this where clause, you are able to get only those information. Now, if I just remove this status again and try to run a different keyword, now let me just remove this. Wait a second, control V. I just need to remove this also, control X. Now if I execute this once more time, like here you can see, this time I'm going to check for open not contact. So it's the same way, I'm just going to write where stating working contacted to instead of this open contacted, or you can say open contacted. So we have open not contacted. So if I just remove this piece of information or the string value from here, and instead of this, I'm going to check this time for open not contacted. So I need to copy this value again. Let's copy this and just put inside this string value. So if I pass this value inside this string, everything is going to work fine. So now this value was actually passed here. Now what I need to do, now if this time if I click on execute, we are only able to get those piece of information which is open but not contact. But this is very good. By using where clause, we can just sort our data on basis of our need. But here comes one more thing. What happened if you want two types of condition on a single statement? Like if I want to get two piece of information. So let me just first send this query to you. Then I'm going to show you how you are going to give two specific conditions in particular SQL query. So this is the first query. After this, if you want to specify two conditions, so specifying two conditions, we need a keyword. Like if you remember, we have operations correctly or and or operations, which we also use in programming language. So or keyword is going to do two things. So first it was going to check for this or the second thing. So it was going to show the status for open not contacted, or here you can give or one more condition you need to give here. So when you apply or condition, you are able to check two things. And this is a keyword you can say in this. And or is going to use with your particular, or you can say where keyword. So in or you need to give one more condition. So here I'm going to give one more condition like or status. Let me just copy this line here. Wait a second. Control plus V. Or I just need to remove this from this piece of code. Or status is open not contacted. So instead of this time not contacted, what I'm going to do, I'm just going to print contacted, or let's say open or contacted. So I'm going to print open contacted status. So now this time if I click on execution, let's see what we are going to get. So now if I click on execution, okay, actually we have a problem here. Let me just copy this whole thing. Control, actually don't need to copy this thing. I only need to copy from where section. Control X. Let me just execute this again. And it will be working contact. Okay. So what I need to write here query. So where status is open not contacted or status is equal to working contacted. So right now I'm going to give two conditions. So this time when I use the or keyword, I'm able to see two types. I'm able to give two types of condition. Like I want to see only those data which is either open not contacted or either they are working or contacted. So now by using this or I'm able to execute. So if now I click on execute, here you see now we are only able to see those data which is working contacted or open not contacted, and we are get all these are correctly here. We also get the phone numbers here. Now this is very good. By using the or keyword you can give two conditions in a single statement. The same way or we have one more condition, and this is and keyword. Now and keyword is very useful sometimes. Now but and is has a little bit problem. Now you can give one more condition using this. Like and is going to give one more here condition. Like here you can give or, like this was going to work for or, but how you are going to add one more condition here. So if you want to give one more condition, you need to like this where status is going to be. This part should be inside a quotes, then we are going to do this. So this is going to be known as one part where status open contacted or working is not contacted. And after this, what I'm going to use, I'm going to use a keyword which is, I think you all know, which is and keyword. Now after this, what was happening? First, we are going to get these data, and if I specify here and keyword, now also I'm going to get one more data, like one more condition. So here I'm going to give one more data, like if I come on the lead source, here you can see I have different types of information. Let's just come on the page is actually home Salesforce. So if you see this home Salesforce, if I click on this leads and click on new option, I have one more piece of information in this. Like if I just scroll a little bit down, here you can see we have information of lead source. Now I just also want to get the information of lead source. So if I come on the lead tab and here I need to search for lead source actually. So lead source, let's search for lead source. So here the API name is lead source. So I just copy this thing. So control C lead source. And here I need to give the condition and lead source and what lead source should be. So lead source should be a given condition. Now you also need to check what this lead source is actually giving. So here you can see this is the pick list, and when you just click on this, you are able to replace or do modification, but we are not going to do this. So if I click on this lead source again, I'm able to see what type of pick list it was inside this and what type of information this lead source is actually handling. So if you just go a little bit down, here you can see this lead source has different values, like these values, and we need to write the value. So I want to get the API name here. We need to write. So what you need to do? We need to go to field and relations again, and inside this lead source, and here inside this lead, what we are actually getting web. So inside this, I am actually searching for web information. So lead source should be. Let me just write an object manager. Here we have the information. Like I'm going to check where lead source should be web. So if I just copy this piece of code here, web, control C, and if I paste inside after this here, inside a string value. So what was going to happen? Now, if this time if I try to execute this, I will get all the information, working status contacted. But here you can see we get some value. Let's just print here one more thing. I think this lead has also ID. So let me come on the field relationship again. I think this will be have ID also. Let's see, does this have ID? Name, number of employees. Okay, title, website, SSI rating, phone, number of location, number mobile, lead source, industry. I think we don't have actually a ID inside this. Okay, so we don't have actually any ID. Okay, so but if you click on here on side also ID, this will be a little bit. And lead source should be well. So now if this time we click on this, see this ID is actually I'm writing here to print the ID. It was nothing more than that. Now if this time I click here execute, here you can see we get the ID, we get the name, we get the phone, we get the status. But this time you see we are only getting those information or those status which has a lead source web. So we are only getting 2, 4, and 5 information which has lead status web. Now if I just change this web to a different thing like where is our lead status actually again. So if I just go to the lead source again and I change this web to a different value, like suppose this time I'm going to change it from phone number, this time it's phone inquiry. So if I change this from web to phone inquiry, we are only able to see those piece of information which lead source is actually phone inquiry. And this is how you are able to modify your query with two types of operation by using where keyword or you are using and or keyword together. And this is very useful when you want to get a specific data from the database. Let me just copy this code and send to you. Control C, let me just send to you. Does anyone have any doubt regarding this where keyword and the or keyword or and keyword? Or should I move to the next topic? If anyone has any doubt, you can please ask. Otherwise, I'm going to move to the next topic. Anyone has any doubts? Okay, so now we are going to move to the next topic of this particular section. And so now we are going to the next topic of this section and we are going to see more clauses here or more conditional statement which we are going to use. So after this, we have two more condition like here, like in and like operators. Like the first three things we studied till now is where and or operator. Now after this, the second thing we have is an in operator and then we have a like operator. Now what is this in and like operator works? So let's come to the query section and try to run an in operator and see how this works. So right now what I'm going to do, I'm just going to remove from this here from this. Okay. And now again I'm going to just click on execute this time. And here you can see we are going to get different values. Now this time we are going to use the in operator first, and then we are going to see the like operator. Now in operator is very useful. Like in is going to check for different things, and in is also going to use with the particular and keyword. So you can customize in operator with the particular, or you can say and get more specific result. But what is actually a in operator? So if I talk about in operator, just give me a second, guys. Okay, sorry. So see, in operator in Salesforce object model language is used to filter records by comparing a field value against a list of specific values. So in is basically going to compare two values and then it was going to give you a record. So it retrieve records where the field matches any value in the list. This is particularly used in querying multiple values in a set. For example, you have two fields and you can use this in to match that particular this value match in this section, then you are going to get that particular thing. Otherwise, you are not going to get. So for example, you have a field like ID and name. Like here you can see we have ID and name from suppose leads. Now, if I just give you a condition like where name will be this or name will be this type of information, then I'm going to get this information. So let me just write a simple query for you and to show you what I need. So here I'm going to write select an ID and name, and I'm just going to remove this phone script. Or let me do from lead, and here I'm going to give a condition where, and here comes the name part. So after where, what I'm going to use the keyword in keyword. Now this in keyword is going to give you more specific result for a particular statement. So where in is going to check for a particular result. Now what should be decided inside this name? Here you can see where n is not actually going to work properly. Before n, you need to give a particular field name. So like now here I'm going to check with name. Where name n, and here we need to give what type of name I'm searching. So after writing name in, you need to open bracket, and inside bracket you need to give some value. So here I'm just opening this curly brackets, and inside this I'm going to give some value. So like where name is meta box. So control C, a name is n. Let's just give this beta boxer, comma. After this, Felix Cotton, like we are going to get these two values, and you are going to separate this with a comma inside this bracket, like this wallet Macuda. And now, if I just click on this execution, we are only able to see these three records. So now, if I click on this section again, this time execute, let's see what we are going to. So now this time the execution was done, and here you see we get here a error, like the error say unknown error present query. Now see, whenever you make a mistake in a query, you will get this type of message like unknown error present query. Now why we are getting this thing here? So this thing is here where and name. So the problem will be in this section where and inside this name. So there is a very crucial or not a very big problem, because here you can see actually I writing this name like this. Let me just give here a space. Now after this I have made one more mistake. Can anyone able to specify what is the mistake I'm making here? Does anyone have any idea what is the mistake I'm making here? Actually we already said this thing previously. So here you can see these are actually strings. When I just make comma, these are actually not identified. So you need to identify every value like a string, then this is what. So here, after putting inside this single quotes, this value is known as a string, and now we are going to compare inside this all data, and we are going to get our result. So now if I put here the strings again, it is going to work finely. So now this time if I click again on X, here you see we are not getting any errors, and we are only going to get these information like for Betha Boxer, Felix Cotton, and Wallet Macro, which is specified here. So in keyword is very useful when you want to get a specific information from a user. So let me just send this code to you. Then I'm going to show you how we are going to use in keyword with the end keyword. So let me just copy this line, Control C. Let me just paste it. Now after this, now we are going to focus how we are able to do a AND operation. Like how I'm able to add an AND operation inside this N. So adding an AND inside this N will give a more, you can say, a more better way. Like the same way, like if I here give a AND keyword again, like and here this time again I'm going to check whether lead source. So and here I'm going to specify lead source is equal to web. So now if I click lead source equal to web, what it was going to do, it was going to show me this piece of information, but only those whose lead source is actually web. So if these people don't have lead source web, then I'm not going to get the information. Now if this time I click on execute, here you can see we are only getting Betha Boxer and Felix Cotton because their lead source is actually web. And this is how you applied one more condition using and you are going to get more specific results according to your query. So let me just send this thing to you, and then we are going to see the next operator, which will be like. Now, if you see, remember, n is actually searching. Let me send this code to you. First, now, if you have remembered correctly, n is actually searching that these piece of information inside the particular statement, and then it was going to give you the result. Where like is a little bit different. Like is not actually work like that. So if I just run this query again, the simple query, here you can see we are getting this information. And when we are using the in keyword, what was happening? So name ins, these values was actually matching from this field label, or you can, and whenever these fields matches, we are getting this data. After this, we applied this end particular keyword, which was going to check for lead source web. So if this is going to web, all the leads were for these three data, and we will only get those values which lead source is web from these values. After this, we have one more statement which is like. Now, like is little bit different compared to n, where n is actually matching values. Like is also same as n, but a little bit different. Now let's talk about like operator in SQL and understand what is actually a like. So a like operator is little bit different, a little bit same. Like you can see, it was also and one more thing I think you focus guys, the SQL is also a in case sensitive, or you can say case insensitive. Now how this like operator works? So in SQL it is used to pattern match, where n is only used matching a specific value, where like is used for pattern matching on string fields. It allows you to filter records, basically allow us to filter the record based on whether a field value matches on a specific pattern. So like how we are able to, for doing this is not very tough. So like we can use like select a two fields. Like here we are able to select the name and phone. From object name, we need to give our object name like this. So everything is going to same from this section. Let's come on phone. So select ID name phone status. I'm just going to remove this. And here just remove this section from lead. And here we are going to use right where. And this time I'm going to use the like keyword. Now this time you see what happened if I use the like keyword. Now after this, what I need to do? I need to write where field name like. So what I'm going to do here, just coming on this, and here I'm just going to change like where name. So where name, if I give to specify where name, or you can say phone. I'm going to specify here phone. Where phone, here I specify where phone, and I need to specify the phone type here. So where phone equal to, and here I need to give a string value which was check. So right now I'm going to check phone like which has 757. So let me just see if there's any phone have same value like A781. So right now I'm going to check, I'm going to check for status. This is going to work properly. Where status, the field name, where status equal to, and here I need to write what or you can say open. I'm just writing open. Okay, wait a second. Working have also contacted. So I'm just going to write this contacted here, where status is equal to contacted because contact is everywhere. So contacted. Now this is going to work, but here what I'm going to do, if I run the same query here where status contacted, let's see what will happen. So if I click here execute, you see this time we are not getting any result because right now I'm using only where key, where status is equal to contact, but none of their base was where status is actually contact. So what I'm going to do? So after this step, I use a keyword name like with status, and here I have specified like, where status like equal to contact. Now what was going to happen? So this was going to match these pattern on all the data. So now if I click on execute this time, let's see what we are going to get. So here you can see we get a message like unknown error is query. This time we also get an error message. And now this time I want to ask all of you, how many are able to identify why we are getting this time an error? Does anyone have any response? See, right now I just use this equal to option. So when you are using like keyword, you don't need the equal to option. After writing like, you need to give the single quotes, and inside this you need to write your particular statement or thing. So here when you like, when I like is equal to contacted, again you see we are not going to get any information because in status we don't have any contacted section. So this is same as the where statement, but like has one more responsibility. Like you can use some specification like closed percentage and other things. So like if I just do this one thing where like is called close contacted, and after this if I give here a percentage sign like this. Now if this time I click on execute, here you can see we are again getting non-result. When I specify contacted, it was going to check for everything, but again we are not getting any result because we have right now contact. Now this is sometime going to work, but this is sometime not going to work properly. So how we are going to do this? So if I just change from contacted to close, so let's change from contacted to close, see how many we are going to get. So close, and now if I click on execute, here you see we will get all the information. Either it was closed, not converted, converted, not converted. It doesn't matter. It was going to check for all the status of close. But if I just remove this particular percentile and try to execute this, you see we are actually not getting any value because right now it was only going to check for close on the first term, but none of them has the status close on the first. But when you specify this percentile, it was going to match for this piece of string in all of the particular code. So now if you just do this, you can see here you will get all the close information, either it was converted or not converted. So like is actually going to match for a pattern. And with like, you are also able to use the AND keyword. You can specify your AND, and after this AND, you need to give your second condition which you want. So like the same, I'm going to give the condition which will be lead sales is equal to web, the same condition which we are giving from the start. So if I just give here the lead source, give it a scan. Okay, I think it was actually copied. Let me just remove this thing and let me just where is lead status is going to close, and here I just only need to write this. Please actually write the whole thing. Okay, you just don't need to write this lead source there. Okay, and now here I just specify where lead source is equal to web. Remember, when you are using like, you are not going to specify equal to because you are matching a whole pattern. So like after like, you need to write your particular string which you or pattern which you are matching. So you need to write like this. And if you're searching for a specific thing, then you need to specify lead source is equal to web. Now, if this time I click on execute, I'm getting all the information of close converted or not converted. But this time we are only going to get the information from web. So by using these keywords like or in, you are going to get more specific result according to your need. Now let me just send this code, this piece of code to all of you again. Does anyone have any doubt regarding this? Does anyone have any doubts regarding this? If anyone has any doubt, you can ask me, otherwise I'm moving to the next topic. Anyone has any doubts? Let me write what we learned till this point. So we learn about where clause. We learn about where clause, then we learn about and or operators. After this, we learn about the next thing, which will be in and like operator. If anyone has any doubt regarding these things, please ask. Otherwise, I'm going to move to the next keywords and we are going to focus on the next. Does anyone have any doubts or should I move to the next topic? Anyone has any doubts? I think none of you have any doubt. So should I right now move to the next topic in this section, which will be our next thing, and that is order by. Like how we are going to get some information on the basis of order by. So for getting information on the basis of order by is also not very tough. Like if I come again on this section, here you can see we have still very much of data and we also need to modify the data to a very small piece. So if I just close this section and I will just print these piece of information again, you can see we get very much of data. Like how we are going to order this thing. Like this has name, like how we are going to order this name in a alphabetic order or this phone or this working status. Like how we are going to order this thing. Let's just print some more information here so it will work properly. So suppose I want to just sort this thing by name, like in an alphabetic order. So how I'm going to do this? So this piece of information is known as sorting your data, or you can say order by the clauses in particular SOQL. Order by clauses is very useful when you want to arrange your data in a proper way or in a proper manner. So how we are going to do this? So let's see first order by clause where we are going to ordering the name or sorting the name. So how we are going to do? So here you can see we are actually fetching name, phone, status. But right now I'm going to do something else. Like I'm going to also print lead source, company and email. So I'm going to get three more piece of information here. So let me just write here from phone after status. I'm also fetching three more pieces. Like I'm also fetching lead source, company and email from lead. Now if this time if I click on execute, here I will get ID, name, phone, status, lead source, company and email. These piece of information and they are very much. Now this time I need to order everything, order these names in a proper way. So how I am going to do? By default, the order will be not here in a proper way. It will be set on the base of date or base of creation. So how we are going to do this? So for this, first of all, what we are going to do, we need to use the clause name which is order by. So if I write here order by, like order by, just simply order, then space by, and after this you need to specify the field name which you need to order. So right now if I just specify a field name like name. So if I just write here order by and here I need to write name, let's see what was going to happen. Now, if this time I click on execute, code was executed successfully. And this time you see, we are actually getting the data according to an alphabetic order, like every data was in alphabetic order. The same way, how is it possible to order two fields in a single thing, like this name and status? So if I just put a common name and also status, let's see does this possible or not. So if I just click on this status and here I need to write also name and status. So now what was going to happen if I write two field name in a single order by statement, like order by name, comma, status. Now if I this time, if I click on execute, here you see again the status was executed and here we are getting the things in a particular order, but the status is not actually ordered by because the status is same or different or stem different because Andy Young has some other status and other has other status. So it is not actually properly work when you are using two things. Like if I change this status from company, you can see we are actually able to see the difference. So if I just change from name to company, name after company, so actually these things are executed, but they are not properly executed. Like here you can see we are again getting Dixon please and American banking crops. American should be first, but it will be not because it was first arranged this thing in a proper order. But if I just change the places, like if I just shift this name thing, if I just remove this name from here, Control X, and if I just put that piece of order here after company and remove this comma actually from here. Now this time what was going to happen? This company is actually going to order by the particular alphabetic order, but this name is not going to work. This is going to work in a formal way. So now if this time I execute C, we are getting this thing as again same, but this time the company name is ordered in a particular ordered way. So this is how this thing is going to work. So it is very good if you always use order by clause using a single particular field. If you have 2 or 3 fields, only first field is going to be ordered and the other field is not able to order. Now after ordering the first field, let's see how we are going to order the second thing. Let me just send this code, Control C. Let me just send. So this is order by clause. Now this is order by clause for name. Now let's see the second order by clause which we are going to use. Now after using for name, I have one more way to use the order by clause. Now what happened if I want to arrange this name in descending order? Like here you can see this company name is right now ascending order. So it will be also possible to do this in descending. So how are we are going to do this? See, by default, when order by clause is actually executed, the by default order is ascending. So if you want to do descending, you need to write DESC, which is stand for descending. Now, if this time if I click on execute, you see everything working fine, but this time the order was executed in descending order. And this is very good. Now, this is also sometimes useful when you want to order the particular thing according to your name. So if you have a name, it can have 2 ways, either it was in ascending or in descending. If you choose ascending, it was going to start from A, and if you choose descending, it was going to start from Z. Let me just send this code to you also. Guys, I need to ask one more thing. Am I audible to all of you right now? Is my voice is visible? Is my voice audible to all of you right now? Can I get any confirmation? Anyone can verify? Am I audible? Thank you. Now after order by clause, we have some more things here. Like here we can see how we are going to order the things in ascending and descending order. Now we have one more thing, like how we are going to sort some other value. Like how we are going to sort by company or order by company like in. Now we have one more way, like how we are going to sort the information about the date. For example, I have one more field. If I want to print, I want to print one more piece of information with this. So this time, instead of this particular email section, what I'm going to print, I'm going to print here, create date. So now this time if I click on execute, I'm also able to see a section here. You can see create date. And I want to print this date after ID. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to copy this section from here. After this, I want this piece will be put here a comma and just print this ID, create by date, and just company. Let me just remove this piece of information here. Okay, and let us. So here you can see this time we have one more way to order the data on the basis of date also. Like if you want to see the data on the base of date, how we are going to do this. So this time you see we are actually ordered by company, but this time actually I'm going to order by this created. So what I need to do, I just need to write here order by and change from company to the file name which is created. So control plus V. So order by create date. And now what is the next thing I need to put here? It is the challenge or it is a question. So see, when you write order by create date, it has nothing to do the same thing. It was also going to the work on the same on the descending and ascending order. So now if we just change from descending to normal, now it was by default ascending. So now if I click on ascending order, you can see we are getting all the orders from 25 to 27. So we are getting the latest order on the first, and then we are going to get the previous order which was created. So these all orders was created on 2025 7th month 29 day like this time. So we are getting this order and we are actually not getting any piece of other information because they are on the same order. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to on leads and try to create some data to see that this particular thing is working proper or not. For this, what I'm going to do, I'm going to come on here on the leads again, or no, on this section, and here I'm going to create some new orders. Like let me create here master. Here I'm going to give a first name, anything like this. Last name will be anything, and here I'm going to give company will be like this value. Title I don't want, email website don't want, address information, ET status, zip post, additional information. Okay, so this is going to create it on 8/18/25 and click on save and new. So now if I click on save and new, it was saved, and I'm going to create one more order here right now. So this time, okay, one is sufficient. So now if this time if I try to refresh this grid, because we just save one more data, so actually I'm refreshing. Wait a second, actually I just opened too much. So first let me just close all these things which was open already. So we have actually opened too many. Let me just, okay. So now if I try to execute this again, we created one more data. Okay, this is actually not working properly. Let me just remove this thing again. Let me just remove this company section once and try to execute. Okay, just remove this thing also. Okay, this was executed successfully, and now here I'm going to give the condition order by create date. So now if I click on execute this time, here you can see this time everything was created perfectly, and we are getting all information here we get. And here in the last you see the orders date which we I just created on 2025 8/18, which we are getting here, because it was going to show you the first data which was created because it was in ascending order. Now if I click here after this create date, if I just write here DES, see, it was going to show me all the data on the descending order. Like the data which was created first was going to appear first, and the data which was going to appear last was going to appear last, because this is actually created this time, and we are able to see this piece of information. And this is right now does not have any phone numbers. So this is how you actually work with the data. So order by is also going to work properly with the same thing. Now you can also do order by with different other thing also. Like you can order the date in descending order. Now we can also use order by clause with where clause. Now let's see how we are actually use order by clause with where clause. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to give here a condition, like I just only want to see where a status is close converted. Suppose here we have different status. So here I'm going to give here from lead order by from lead. After this, I'm going to give here a condition like where status equal to, and here I need to give the condition where status equal to, I'm just going to just this close not converted and just copy this. Now, what was going to happen this time? See, using where clause is very useful. Now we are only going to see the close converted list, and also what we are going to see, we are going to see order by created date. But if you see this first one is open not contracted. So instead of this, what I'm going to do, I'm going to use this open not contracted instead of this close not converted to also see my data. So if I just remove this piece of information or a string value here and put this value, this open not contracted. Now if this time if I click on execute, information, because what we specify, we just first order these information and we also give a condition like where not contacted. So we are only going to get those information which is right now not contacted. So you can also use this particular where clause with this order by clause to give more specific result to user. Okay, let me just send this code to you, all of you. I think everyone is familiar with how to use this order by clause also. Okay, does anyone have any doubt regarding this order by clause? If anyone have any doubt regarding this order by clause, please ask your question. Otherwise, I'm moving to the next part. Does anyone have any questions, guys? If you have any question, you can ask. Otherwise, I'm moving to the next part. If you have cleared this concept, please type yes. Or if you don't clear, please type no with your problems. Okay, I think everyone has cleared with this. None of you have any problem. So now we are going to see the next thing in our particular statement, which is limit and offset. So limit and offset is also a very important thing, which was going to give a limit on the particular data, like how many types of information you only want. Suppose you only want a piece of information like 10 piece, 11 piece, and 12 piece. Okay, guys, right now I think I need to share one more information to all of you. Those who are thinking, actually, Salesforce has also announced internship role for students also. So if you go to the on Google and search for Salesforce query, it was also hiring for Salesforce intern for the 2026 and 2027 pass out batch. So Salesforce career, if you search, here you can find this page on Salesforce Career. And right now, if I just open this particular tab, if you click on the Salesforce Career, here you will able to find different types of job right now on this particular section. Now here actually Salesforce is offering a different type of internship right now in India in the in the month of from November. And these internships are like for 6 months and they are offering a very good of position with a good stipend. And after 6 months of complete internship, you are also able to get a particular certification. So if you click on this country section, here you need to choose your country, which is India. So if you search for India and just click it here, and here if you click on search type here right now, here you can see you have different types of option, like you have 1 of 20 of 109. So here you can see if you just go a little bit down, here you can see front-end UI. And here you can see right now they have a particular force information security intern for Hyderabad, India, and it is also a remote location. For also this is for Mumbai location. So those sorry, lead accountant. So here you can see you have an information security intern position. Right now this was a fixed term and temporary position, and it was also open on Salesforce org. So I thought I will tell you also. So this internship is right now on here, and it was posted on 17th August. Uh, day yesterday on Sunday. So I think I already told you about this thing. So it is a very good opening and performance for those who are in new their career. You can apply for this thing. Here you can see that this job description. It was completely for the freshers, and it was you can say a basic internship. So here you can see the experience, bachelor degree in computer science or technology or related field, graduation, postgraduate, diploma in information security or cyber security, 3 year experience, 0 to 3 year, 3 year experience. So here these are the basic information you can apply for this, and you will get a chance to work with Salesforce, where you are able to increase your career growth very fast. Also, you have more interns, like if you just here change from this contract, like no, if you change this employment type, like here, if you click on intern and here you can search just intern and click on this apply filter and search for, here you see this intern position was right now available, but there are many intern positions was going to available in the month of the November and September. So also view to this page on the career section of Salesforce, and you are able to apply and get, maybe you will get a chance to work with Salesforce as an intern. So this is also very helpful for all of you. So search for career Salesforce and you'll get multiple positions here. Now let's come to the our section and now we are going to see the next clause, which is limits and offsets. Now limits and offsets is also very important. But how? Sometimes see when you want to fetch many data, like if I just here paste it, let me just paste here. So let me just open this query actually. So if I just open this query here this time and just remove this things order by name company. Okay. So now if I just click on here instead of name, I'm just removing this thing order by name. Okay. So now if I click on here execute, you see whenever I execute, I will get very much of data. But I don't actually want of this that much of data. So what I'm going to do? For this guys, we have some features in Salesforce org, and these features are very useful. So these four features are actually limits and offsets. So we use limit and offsets to sort our data to a very minimum number, like you can sort the data on basis of rows, on basis of columns and other things. Now we are going to see how this actually works and how these things actually work. Let me just write the first query for limits. For example, if you want to only see the first 10 row or the first 5 row, how you are going to do this? See, it was also not going to be very tough. What you need to do after this order by name, you need to give here a condition like limit, and let me just remove this. Here you need to give the condition which will be limit, and after this limit, what you need to do, you need to specify like what is this limit is going to be. So this limit is by default set on the rows. So if I just say limit will be 10 or limit will be 5, now I'm only able to see the first 5 rows. So once, first, third, fourth, fifth. So I'm only able to see it through Brenda Macular. So now if I click on execute this time, see here you can see the query has to start with find or select. So we are getting error here because okay. So here we get this L, that's why we're getting this error. So now if I click on execute this time, here the execution part is done, but this time we have set the limit to 5. That's why we are only able to see 5 results right now. Now after this, let's see we have some other things inside this also. After this limit, you can specify any type of limit you want. Now we have one more thing, like you can specify the limit on anything, like limit with or order by clause or anything. Like here you can see we are actually using this limit with order by. You can use this thing without order by clause. Now with limit, order by, and we can also use with this where clause. So like order by name here, after this what I'm going to do? Here I'm going to give a condition like where and here I'm going to give a condition like where lead source is going to be, let me just copy this thing. So where lead source, lead, so where lead source, whatever lead source should be web. So where lead source should be web. So here right now what I'm doing, I'm giving two conditions this time. The first condition is order by clause, and the second thing I'm also giving a where condition where I am specifying the data on the basis of lead web condition, where lead source is web, and now I just specify limit as 5. Now if this time if I specify this limit as 5, let's see how this thing is going to work. So now here you can see we are getting web 3 times, but purchase list is 2. So now if I click on execute this time, you can see here we get unknown error phrasing this time. Now anyone has any identifier like why we are going to get this type of error this time? See, this is also a very small thing we are going to get this thing, because you need to remember where clause should be first or before this lead. So where lead should web, this piece of information, control C, is before order by clause. So here you need to give this condition where lead source equal to web, and then after this you need to use your order by clause. Order by name where, I just need to remove this. Okay, name and by limit 5. Now if I click on execute this time, you see our code was executed successfully, and we are only going to get the web information, but we set the limit to 5, so we are only getting the first 5 rows. Now you can set this value according to you. So if you set 10 rows, so you are going to get the first 10 values of this particular section. And here you see when we write 10, we are actually not getting 10, we are only getting you can say 7 of results, because from web we have only 7 fields. So if you have a limited field like 7 or 8, and you give the like lead source equal to 10, it was already going to only show all the records. Now this is how you're going to use this where keyword with this particular thing. Now how we're going to get the latest records? Like if I want to get the latest record in a company, how am I able to do this? So getting a latest record in a company is also not very tough. So what we need to do here, we are going to do order by. Now Again, if I use this order by thing, it was going to work very fine thing. Like here you can see what we did from lead, and here I'm just going to change this from lead source equal to web. Okay. Now let me just remove this thing. Okay, so from where I'm equal from order by name, and here what I'm going to do after this, I'm just removing this limit because right now I'm not going to use this. So how you're going to get the latest result of a company? So order by name, then here you have to specify descending, and after this you need to give one condition here to get the descending, or you can say the best result. So when you specify descending, and after this if you specify limit one, what was going to happen? So now you see we just specified descending, it was going to show the latest record, and when you set the limit one, it was going to show you the latest first record which was given. Now if I click on this time execute, here you can see this get the wallet macroid which will be this value and working contract and Emerson transfer. And this is the latest record here. Now if you just change from descending, nothing, it will go to do the same task for ascending order. So now if you do for this ascending, you will get Andy Young for this time. Now this is how these things is actually going to work in a proper way. Now this is how you're going to use this limit keywords with multiple things. You can use limit one and you are going to get the latest and oldest record by this unit. Now after this limit, we have two keywords, one keywords more, and that is offset. Now what is offset and how this offset is going to work? So first let me write a simple offset query and let me show you how this offset is actually working. So after this, if I just remove this piece of from lead, so from lead, if I just remove all of these, and instead of this, what I write offset dollar offset here, and in the offset section, if I specify a condition like offset will be something of value, so it will be an integer value like offset should be 4. Now, if I click on this tab, let's see what was going to happen. But before doing this, let's remove this offset and see what we are actually getting when we run our simple query. So when you run our simple query, you get each type of information. But when you put this offset value, what you are going to get is zero. Now this time execute this, you see there will be not any changes. Can anyone identify what is the changes we are getting? Like now here you can see we have the total number is like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Then we have 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. So we have total 19 elements. But if I remove this offset 4, change this offset value from 4 to suppose 50. And now if this time I try to execute this, let's see what. See, offset is actually reducing the code or reducing the rows. So when you offset 15, all the offset, all the numbers from the top is actually removing. So like if you just remove this offset from 15, like you see we are able to see from 9. So what this offset will do, it will remove the first 15 rows from the particular table, and after the 15th table it was going to stop. So before David Lambo, these are the 15 tables which were rows which were after this we are able to see this information. And this is how your offset is work. Offset is also sometimes useful when you want to get some particular information. Now, how you're going to get the first 5 record and skip the first 5. So suppose you want to get the latest 5 records and skip first 5. For whatever first 5 record you have, suppose you have these first 5 records, you want to skip these first 5 records and you want to get the first 5 latest records. So everything is going to same, nothing is going to change. But here we are going to use two things. We are going to use order by, and we are going to use also the basic you can say offset. So here this time I'm going to set the offset this time 5. After this from it I'm going to use this order by. So here order by. But this time you see what I tell you, we are going to get the latest 5. So here comes the main part. So what is should be this order? So the order by should be the create date. So here I need to write the create date. Yes, generation. Need to search for create date here. Yes, please. I'll find create date. So what I did from order by create date. After this create date, what this create date should be? And this is the question. So I'm going to make this create date descending order. Because if you remember, descending is going to show the latest record which was going to order by create date shall be descending. And here what we are going to do, we are going to do two things. We are going to use this limit 5 and then offset 5. Create date descending after this, what I'm going to do, I'm going to use limit 5 and offset 5. So what was going to happen? Limit will be 5. Means we are only going to limit this result 5 and offset will be 5. Means the first 5 was going to be removed and we are going to get the first latest 5. So now if this time I click on execute, you see we are only going to get the first 5 latest record which was just created here. And this is how you are going to get your information in a very proper way. Does anyone have any question how you're going to use offset and limit value with other keywords? Does anyone have any question? Okay, my voice is breaking. Is my voice clear right now? Okay. So right now we also covered this part also, which is also you can say the limit and offset. And let's see what how many things which we covered till this point, and then we are going to the next topic. So we already covered. Let me just remove all these things here. So what we studied till this point, we studied SOQL, we studied the where clause, we studied the or clause or and keyword, we also studied the like or in, then we studied the order by. After this we studied the two things which will be offset and like, or you can say limit keyword. So we learn about these keywords in our SOQL and we understand how we are going to write a good SOQL query. And this is a very good thing. Now after this we have two more things which we left which we need to study today. So the next thing which I'm going to talk about is operators, like how many operators which we have right now in our SOQL particular right. So if I just talk about operators, operators is same as in Apex programming. Like if you remember operators, you have different operators in Apex programming language. The same way we have also different operators in our Apex also. And now we are going to talk about these operators today. So let's just give me a second. Just give me a second, guys. Give me a second. Okay, so I need to search for order. Wait a second. I'm not able to find the code PPD. Just give me a second. I need to search for the PPD. Okay, actually I don't. Let me just give a second, guys. Just give me a second. Okay, so now I'm going to talk about some operators. So let me just. Actually, I'm not able to open the PPT, so I'm just going to copy the codes from the PPT and trying to show you. Okay, let me just see. Give me a second. I'm going to copy all of the code in the notepad. Maybe notepad will be appear. Okay, now this will work here good. Okay, let me just copy this thing. Just give me a second, guys. Wait a second, I just need to share the screen again. Okay, now I think everyone is able to see these queries. So here we have some SOQL operator overview, and these are some specific operators which we are going to use for multiple uses. Like in first, you can see in SOQL, Salesforce Object Query Language or SOQL, operators are used to filter and refine query results below is a category. So these are basically used for refining the results, like how you are going to do this. So first we have seen these operators, comparison operators. These are basically used for comparison operators, and they are basically used with where clause. Like here you can see the first operator is equal to, which we use multiple times to match a particular value. After this, the second operator is not equal to. You can also use this operator to not show that particular value and any other thing. After this, you have a less than operator for amounts. Like if you have an amount or in a particular section, then you can use this less than, greater than, equal to, or greater than, less than, greater than, equal to, or less than, equal to. So these are very useful for comparison value and getting your answer on the basis of comparison, which you can perform multiple times. Let me send this comparison operator to you first. Try to run every code inside your particular terminal and see what type of output you are getting whenever you are executing these piece of code. After comparison operator, let's talk about the next operator which we have right now. So the next operator after comparison which we have is logical operator. Now, what is this logical operator actually? So logical operator has some logics, like we already talked about and or not operator. So used to combine multiple conditions. Like you as you see, where is not actually eligible to combine multiple conditions. That's why you use this logical operators to combine different. Like we have and or and not, which we already see the example of and or, which combine condition where all must be true, or combine condition where at least one must be true, and not where negative a condition mean the condition should be negative. So you can also use the logical operators to combine multiple conditions in a single query to get more specific or more accurate result which you want. After this, which we have next, let me just send this to you first. Okay. After this, the next keyword or the next statement we have is wildcard and pattern matching. Now, wildcard and pattern matching is very useful, like in and not in. So we talk about like and in, where not in is actually not used multiple times. It was not mainly used, but as a database administrator. Suppose you get a job as a database administrator in a particular SOQL Salesforce as a database administrator to manage the data. At that time, you need to know about all these operators. Otherwise, these are not very important. Just not in. The like and in are maximally important, where like is matches for the pattern, wildcard for multiple characters. You are able to match accounts where name like A and name is starting with A. When you put double quotes, when you will get all the piece of value where the name will start from A and where name in matches any value in a specific list. So it matches for a specific value, not for every value. The same way not in is like exclude values in a specific list. So select name from account where industry not in. So where technology and finance is not in, you will get all the piece of information there. So wildcard and pattern matching is also very useful in our particular, you can say SOQL, and which we already use multiple times. Let me just send this to all of you also. Just send this code. After this, we have one more query here, which is this set operator. This is force. Now, this operator is actually very useful, include and exclude, which we are going to see how these things actually work. So now, if you see, it was used for advanced filtering, like check if a multiple selected pick list contain a value. Like it was used for checking pick list. Like here you can say select name from account where industry underscore or C include technology. Like this type of piece, it was going to use for multiple things. Let's try to execute this piece of code and see how this works. So if I copy this here from Control C, and if I go to my Salesforce org, let me just share the entire screen this time because it was more good. So because this is not going to be fine working. Okay, let's share the entire screen. Okay, right now I think you are able to see the entire screen. So now if I come again on the query section here, developer console, and try to execute this query. So if I cut this section here and paste all of these queries from here, this query, select name from account where industry.c include technology. Instead of industry, I also know that this lead source is also a particular thing. So now if I try to execute this, you see I'm getting an error like this, name from where industry is error at row on control. Industry, this account is not attempted or not available. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to remove this industry.c to lead source. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to change this from lead source. So where lead source, and instead of technology, what I'm going to do, I'm going to put here a web. And now if I try to click here, execute again, here you can see we get an error, unknown phrasing error. Now, why we are getting this error? So let's just see this code again. So here you can see we need to write the include keyword, otherwise it was not going to work properly. So what I need to do, I need to write this include keywords. So come here again, and where lead source includes web. So now if I click on here, here you can see we get an invalid field. Object and object here get name from account. Okay, actually this was happening because we are name from, and instead of account I need to write here lead actually. Name from lead. Okay, now this time it will work. So here you can see now this time we get invalid query filter operator. Select name from where lead source include web error at row or column. Includes or exclude operator only valid for multi-pick list field. So it means it was only valid for multi-pick list field. So first of all, I need to find a multi-pick list field. So here you can see this is a pick list actually. So we need to search for multi-pick list. Industry is also pick list. But right now I'm searching for multi-pick list value. So it was also pick list, pick list. It does, I think it does not have any multi-pick list right now. Okay, pick list. No. So right now I think we don't have actually multi-pick list value. That's why this was not executed successfully. For this, we need to create a custom object which was having multi-pick list. Then it was going to work finely. So right now we don't have any multi thing. And here you can see this is actually, or you can say simple, a custom object because it has an underscore C. So we need to first create a multi-pick list value. Then we are going to do this. After this, you see we have null operators used to check for null or null value. Like it was going to check for either a value field has a null or non-null value. So for checking null, what you are going to check if a field is null or not. So here what we did, we select a name from account where phone is null. So if I just copy this statement, Control C, and if I come here on the Chrome again and try to run this query this time, let's see what we are going to get. So what it was going to do, it was going to select name from account where phone is null. So now if I click on execute, here you can see we get a message like unknown query. Now can anyone tell me why I'm getting this thing this time? Like I just select name from account where phone is null. So here if I just remove this piece, select name from account and try to execute this. Here you can see we get everything. And here what is the problem here? If I write here where phone, I need to search that this part is phone or not. So first comma and put see does this account as phone or not. So phone, and now I just remove this where clause to see whether it has phone or not. So okay, it has phone. So select name and from. So it actually okay. So select name and from account where Now after this where, what we need to write here. Now if you come to see the example here, you can see select name from account where, here we need to give this information is null, where phone is null, and this is the condition which we need to run. So where phone, here where phone, I need to write where phone, okay, it was wrong again, where phone is null, so is null. So it was going to check whether the phone is null or not. Okay, we are getting this unknown error. I just don't know why we are getting this. Okay, I just, due to some problems, I think this query was not actually executed this time. Phone, let's try to only check null. Where phone null, let's execute it. Okay, so I think this was not working properly right now. Due to some reason, it was not working. Okay, so null operators is right now not working. I just don't know why we are getting this error particular this time. But this is also useful in a very manner sometime when you try to get a particular value and try to get a null value at that time. Right now I'm not able to use this due to some reasons. I just need to check it. Now after this we have some other operators which is very useful. Like here you can say distance, used for geolocation query. Like if you have a particular database which have locations, at that time you can use this distance object, like select name from account where distant location dot c geolocation, and you can give this to get the accurate location information. After this you have order by, which was used many times, and also we have limits, which we already see. So these operators allow you to create precise and efficient query to retrieve the exact data you need from Salesforce. So these are the information which we are actually getting. So if I just copy this null to this piece of code and send to you in the control plus X, don't save, come to the Salesforce and let me send all this code to here. Okay, so these are the basics query which we talked till this point, and we study all of these. Now after this query, what we are going to study next is the main point here. Now after this query, we have 2 or 3 things which we need to talk about today more. And the next thing which we are going to talk about after this thing is some other queries also. Because these are the basics query which we need to learn, which we need to remember whenever we are trying to fetch some data. After this, I think we have already studied about the limit and offsets and data literals. The last thing which you need to learn is data literals. Now data literals is like queries which was going to work on the basis of dates, and it was very useful. Like here you can get all the leads created on different days. So for example, if you want to get all the leads which was created today, what you are going to do? So here let me just write a query for you, which I just write it here. So first what I'm going to do, I'm just need to write a query, select name, and here I'm just going to write select name. After this, from name and one more piece of information, like what I need to get more things, like I want name, status, and company. Like I want name. After this, I want status, comma company. Okay. From lead. So these are the piece of information which I'm going to fetch from lead. But before that, what I'm going to do, I'm coming on lead Salesforce here, and I'm going to create some new information here. So my name should be name Mr. Here I'm going to give a new name like Abhishek. Abhishek. Last name will be something like Srivastav. After this company, let me give owner XLR. After this title, give the senior developer, senior developer. Okay, here we just don't going to give any other thing, and let's see what we are actually fetching. So we are fetching name, status, company. So I think I need to also give the status here. So let's see the status. Where is the status? Lead source is nothing. Okay, phone. Address here we have product. Let's see where is the status rating. Okay, so here we have the lead status, which will be working contacted. Okay, now this is done. And now I'm going to click on save and new. Now this piece of information is saved here. And now I'm coming on the debugger console this time again. And here what I'm selecting as like name, status, company from lead, these piece of information. So I'm selecting name, status, company from lead. After this, what I need to give here, I'm going to give the lead clauses, or you can say the lead, which was going to give me all the information for period. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to here write recommendation from lead. After this, here. Now in this section, if you go search here, you will find we have a lead create date. Date. While contacted, because a create date was created automatically whenever I use the word create date. After here, what I'm going to do is create date equal to, and here you write the daily. So daily tool is very easy. If I write where equal to today, so let's see what was going to happen. So if I just write here today and click on here execute, what was going to happen? I'm going to get only those data which was created today. Like here you can see these two was created today. Also after today we have also one more thing like yesterday. If I just use where create date is greater than yesterday, so it was going to show me all the data which was created yesterday. So if I click on here yesterday and click on execute, you see we are not able to see, we are able to see these two results right now because these were also created. And here we say that create date is greater than yesterday. But if you specify where create date equal to yesterday and click on here execute, you are not able to see any data because yesterday we are not creating any data. But if you use this sign, this greater than, then you are able to see all the data of today. So you see how you are able to use these operators also. Also, you can see the last 10 days or last 15 days information also. Like if you write like this, like last 10 days, like last underscore n underscore days, and then after this semicolon, and after this the days, you are able to see all the data from the which was created in the last 10 days. So here you can see in the last 10 days we are don't create it, and here we are using greater than sign, that's we are getting. But if you put equal to sign, you are able to see how many data was created in the last 10 days, and you can see there are only two data was created in the last 10 days. So these are basically date literals. You can search for Google for date literals and you can find all the date literals which was available on Google. Now, for the last time, I have one more question. Does anyone have any doubt regarding the SOQL queries, like how you are going to write a query and how you are going to execute a query? Does anyone have any questions? Okay, so this is all for today. Let's meet, and tomorrow we are going to talk about DML, like data manipulation language, where we are going to write our own DML statement to perform different type of operations. Like right now we know about the SOQL, like fetching the data. Today we are going to learn about the parent-child relationship and child-parent relationship. Then we are going to move to the DML, which will be the data manipulation language, and we are going to see how we are going to write our own query to modify the database in Salesforce object. So these are the two topics left in the Salesforce database, and then these topics also. So this is all for today. Let's tomorrow join on 7 p.m. Ma'am, this is end from my side.
Yes, sir. Thank you. We'll meet again by tomorrow at 7 p.m. Yeah, so students, it's a reminder, please mark your attendance as attendance is important, as you all know. 60% of attendance is mandatory to get a certificate. Kindly mark your attendance without any fail. Okay, yeah, we are done for the day. We'll meet again by tomorrow at 7 p.m. Thank you all for joining. Good night.